Section 8.3, factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. Example 1, factor 3x squared minus x minus 4. Is there a greatest common factor to factor out? There is not. But the number in front of our x squared, the coefficient in front of our x squared is not 1. We're going to multiply the coefficient of the x squared and the negative 4. So 3 times negative 4 equals negative 12. What multiplies to negative 12 and adds to negative 1? So multiplies to negative 12. We got our negative 12 from our 3 times our negative 4. And our negative 1 is our coefficient of our x term. Multiplying to negative 12 and adding to negative 1 is negative 4 and positive 3. We're going to rewrite 3x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 4. You're going to have to watch the order there of the way you write your middle terms. You can see that 3x minus 4x is minus 1x, which is what we started with. But now we have 4 terms, and when we have 4 terms, we try to factor by grouping. 3x times x plus 1 minus 4 times x plus 1. Watching your signs. And both terms now have a factor of x plus 1. 3x minus 4 times x plus 1. Example 2, factor 4x squared minus 27x plus 18. Is there a greatest common factor to factor out from the 4, the 27, and the 18? The answer is no. Multiply the coefficient of the x squared and the 18. So 4 times 18 is 72. What multiplies to 72 and adds to negative 27? Multiplies to 72 and adds to negative 27. Factors of 72 are going to be negative 24 and negative 3, adding to negative 27. Rewrite 4x squared minus 24x minus 3x plus 18. Factor the first 2 and then factor the second 2. 4x times x minus 6 minus 3 times x minus 6. It's 4x minus 3 times x minus 6. Example 3, factor 5x squared plus 8x plus 3. No greatest common factors to factor out. Multiply the coefficient of the x squared and 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. What multiplies to 15 and adds to 8? Multiplies to 15, adds to 8. It's going to be 5 and 3. Rewrite 5x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 3. Factor by grouping. Factor out of 5x, factor out of 3. 5x times x plus 1 plus 3 times x plus 1. 5x plus 3 times x plus 1. Example 4, factor 8x squared plus 14x minus 15. There is not a greatest common factor to factor out. Multiply the 8 and the negative 15 is negative 120. What multiplies to negative 120 and adds to 14? Multiplying to negative 120, adding to 14. Negative 6 and positive 20. Multiply to negative 120 and add to positive 14. We're going to rewrite as 8x squared plus 20x minus 6x minus 15. Factor by grouping. 4x times 2x plus 5 minus 3 times 2x plus 5. 4x minus 3 times 2x plus 5. Example 5, factor 6x squared minus 11x plus 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So what adds, what multiplies to 30 and adds to negative 11? Negative 6 and negative 5. Rewrite as negative 6x squared minus 6x minus 5x plus 5. Factor by grouping 6x times x minus 1 minus 5 times x minus 1. 6x minus 5 times x minus 1. Example 6, factor 24 minus 2y minus y squared. Rewrite in descending order and factoring out a negative 1. So it's negative 1 times y squared plus 2y minus 24. The coefficient of the y squared is a 1. So what multiplies to negative 24 and adds to 2? What multiplies to negative 24 and adds to positive 2? It's going to be positive 6 and negative 4. We just need to rewrite the trinomial as a binomial, so it's negative 1 times y minus 4 times y plus 6. Example 7, factor 10 minus x minus 3x squared. Rewrite in descending order, factoring out a negative 1. So negative 1 times 3x squared plus x minus 10. Multiply the coefficient of the x squared and the negative 10. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. What multiplies to negative 30 and adds to 1? Positive 6 and negative 5. Don't lose that negative 1 that we factored out to change our order. So negative 1 times 3x squared plus 6x minus 5x plus 10. Factor by grouping. Negative 1 times 3x times x plus 2 minus 5 times x plus 2. It's negative 1 times 3x minus 5 times x plus 2. Example 8, factor 4a squared b squared minus 30a squared b plus 14a squared. First, factor out the greatest common factor, which is 2a squared. So we're going to rewrite as 2a squared times 2b squared minus 15b plus 7. Factor the trinomial now. So we have the 2 times the 7 is 14. What multiplies to 14 and adds to negative 15? Multiplies to 14, adds to negative 15. It's negative 14 and negative 1. Watch your signs and don't lose that 2a squared out in front. 2a squared times 2b squared minus 14b minus 1b plus 7. Factor by grouping. Keep that 2a squared out in front and factor out a 2b times b minus 7 minus 1 times b minus 7. It's 2a squared times 2b minus 1 times b minus 7. That is section 8.3, factoring ax squared plus bx plus c.